back to my channel. My name is Dear Gracious Dube. If it is your first time viewing or tuning in, or welcome to the family, I hope you'll decide to stay by of course clicking the subscribe button. We're almost at 2k and as you can see I am quite excited, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate you guys so much. So today's video is a hair trimming video. So initially I was not going to film this because I do have another hair trimming video in my videos, but that was about 2 years ago, and also in that video I used heat. This time around I did not use heat. I still stretched my hair, but I did not use heat, and I actually prefer it this way because the less heat I can use, the better for me personally. And yeah, it does take a bit of time, but it's totally worth it. And I haven't trimmed my hair in quite a while. Let me think about it very quickly. I think the last time I trimmed my hair was January, so it's been 4 months. And I would advise trimming your hair every 3 to 6 months. It's completely up to you. Of course, some people only trim their hair like once a year and that works well for them. If you're that person, shout out to you. That does not really work that well for me, and the main reason for that is because I change my hairstyles a lot. Like, I have my hands in my hair quite a lot, and as a result I get a lot of single strand knots. So if you get a lot of single strand knots, it's perfectly fine. It comes with natural hair. Unfortunately, there's like almost nothing you can do about it. You can try and reduce the frequency, but you can't eliminate them altogether. And so because I have my hands in my hair a lot, I get them a lot, and when you leave them for too long, they cause a lot of knots, and they also cause split ends. So like, I was literally like taking a strand of my hair and I could see the single strand knots, and I could see the strand split into two, or sometimes I can see like holes. It looks like it's holes like in your hair, in the strand of your hair, and that's also actually split ends. So it's not split at the end, but it's split like in the middle, okay? And it looks scary. But so anyway, I knew that I needed a trim. If you have single strand knots, if you have split ends, you definitely need a trim. Split ends, of course, you can minimize them, but as well, they do happen. Even the person with like the healthiest hair regimen, they do get split ends over time, even if not as often as maybe your average person. But split ends are like almost inevitable, especially if you manipulate your hair a lot. And so actually I found that now that I have natural hair, I get more split ends than I did when I had relaxed hair. And again, that's because I manipulate my hair a lot more, and my hair is curly, so it gets pulled a lot. And when your hair gets pulled, then there's more chance for it to get a split end, or of course to get the holes like in between the hair. So anyway, I knew definitely that it was time for a trim, and I just thought I would film it for you guys. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, I know some people aren't really a fan of trimming their hair that much because they say that they want to grow their hair, and of course we all want to grow our hair. I also like to have big hair, but if you want long healthy hair, you have to trim it. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. If you don't trim it, if you leave those split ends for too long, the hair just splits further and further down the shaft of the hair, and it makes your hair very frizzy, and it makes your hair don't look so good. Like, it looks raggedy. I don't know what's the word, but it just looks rough, you know, like it looks rough. It looks frizzy, it looks rough, so it doesn't look good. And of course your hair is definitely going to break, so it's gonna look like it's not growing even though it is growing. So if you want healthy long hair, you have to trim your hair regularly every 3 to 6 months, like I said. And yeah, so I'm just gonna show you guys the tutorial. It is short and sweet. The actual trimming does take a bit of time, but the tutorial will be short and sweet. And yeah, that is it for today. I'm gonna add this to my Back to Basics natural hair care series, because it is a big part of taking care of your natural hair. Trimming is very important. It's, I think, more important when you have natural hair, because our curly hair, like, it knots up a lot. my hair knots up a lot, and like I said, I get a lot of single strand knots, and if you leave them, it can cause a lot of damage eventually. So yeah, sis, if you have not trimmed your hair in about 6 months or so, then this video I think will be definitely helpful to you. Like, don't be scared of trimming your hair. I swear to you, you will not look bald, you will still look good. In fact, your hair will look even better. So I can definitely see that there is a reduction in volume, but I don't mind at all, because like I said, the hair grows a lot faster than at the rate that I trim it at, so I definitely still see the growth. So anyway, enough rambling on my side. I hope you guys will enjoy this tutorial. Give it a huge thumbs up if you do. Of course, do not forget to subscribe. We're almost at 2K, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Hey guys, so initially I was talking, but I've decided to do a voiceover instead because I think it'll make this video a lot quicker. So the night before, I twisted my hair, and basically the reason for that is because I wanted to stretch my hair without using heat. And now I am unraveling those twists, and as you can see, detangling as well. The main reason for this is because I want to try and get my hair as straight as possible. So these are the tools that you're going to need: a wide tooth comb, a smaller tooth comb, and of course your hair scissors. I got mine from Dis-Chem. The first thing I'm going to do is use my wide tooth comb to just brush my hair. Okay, now I am too slow. And now, firstly, we use the wide tooth comb, and we use that to brush our hair out. And then we go in with the smaller tooth comb right at the ends only, not the whole length of the hair. And then I also use my hands just to smooth out my hair and try and get it as straight as possible. You see, I'm pulling it down because I want to try and get the hair as straight as possible so that I can see exactly where to cut. So do you see how the hair starts to get thinner at the ends and it looks really rough as well? That is the perfect place for you to trim your hair. There's no point in holding on to those ends. They're dead, and they're only going to cause further damage to your hair if you do not trim them off. So that is where I am going to cut off. And I take my scissors. You can get them at Dis-Chem or Clicks. These ones are from Dis-Chem. I think I did mention that earlier. And now we're just going to move on to the next section. So this is the second part of my twist. So you can see that I am unraveling that twist, of course, always being gentle. So I'm just using my fingers. I don't use a comb yet. So I'm detangling and unraveling at the same time, and I'm using my hands as well to smooth it out. And then I go in with my wide tooth comb. I start at the ends and then the middle. I'm just trying to brush out my hair and try and get it as straight as possible. And then of course using my fingers to smooth out again and pulling the hair to try and get it straight. Then I go in with my smaller comb, and this is specifically for the ends because that's where I will be trimming. And I'm using my fingers to smooth out the hair, try and get it straight and uniform. And there is where I will be trimming my hair, where it starts to get very, very thin. Okay, something went wrong in editing, but I did trim off that end right there. I'm just going to show you again one more time. So I'm unraveling my twist. Then I'm going to work with one piece at a time. I unravel this piece, detangle as I go along. Remember to always be gentle, do not pull. And then I comb out the ends with my wide tooth comb, and then the middle going down. Smooth out with my fingers, and then follow up with my smaller comb. And this is specifically for the ends, just so I can see exactly what is going on. This is also a good time to comb out some knots. As you can see, I have a few there. And now I'm smoothing it out with my fingers, just trying to get the hair straight and uniform so I can see exactly where to cut off. And then at that point where the hair gets very thin, that is where I am going to trim. So right over there. And now just for a different view of the back, zoomed in a little bit more as well. So again, you start off by brushing the hair, and you'll notice that the hair at the back of my head is a lot healthier. You'll see that now when I pull it out, that it doesn't get quite as thin as the front, and that's because I don't touch the back of my head as much as I touch the front. And so the back of my head tends to be a lot healthier because it doesn't get as manipulated as the front. So just where it starts to feel rough, that is where I am going to trim. Easy as that. And now the last piece, again, I just detangle that using my fingers. Then I follow up with my wide tooth comb, combing the ends and then the middle, just trying to get the knots out and also get the hair a little bit straight. And then I sort of feel where my hair starts to feel rough at the ends and where it starts to get a bit thinner. Not so much at the back of my hair, it's a bit more healthy than the front. But I'm just going to see where my hair starts to feel a bit rough, which is usually towards the ends because of single strand knots or split ends. And I'm just kind of using my sweater as well so that I can see where the hair gets thin, and that is where I am going to trim.
So I'm done, guys. I'm finished. I've trimmed the whole head. My ends feel very, very smooth, so I'm happy about that. Usually my ends feel a little bit rough, and that's because I get single strand knots so easily. My hands are in my hair quite a lot, and as a result of that I get single strand knots like crazy, and so my ends usually feel rough, and now they feel so smooth. So I'm very happy about that, and I know that I got a lot of those split ends out as well, so I'm happy about that as well. So in terms of like symmetry, to be honest, I'm not too, like, I don't fuss about this side being the same length as this side. Of course, if it's noticeable, then I will trim it down, but it's not going to be noticeable once I do a twist out, or even when I wear my hair out in its natural shrunken state as an afro. Like, those things you can't notice if this side is like 1 centimeter longer than this side. So I don't bother with that. I don't wear my hair straight, so I don't care for it to be exactly symmetrical. It's just not important to me, so I don't fuss too much about it, like, you know, measuring this side and this side. Let me just try and grab a piece and trying to see which side is longer. So you can already see like this side is longer, but for me it's not a big deal. Like I said, when I wear my hair out in an afro or even in a high puff, you can't tell that this side is longer than this side, so I don't fuss about that. And yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe. If you made it this far into the video, then you must have enjoyed it, at least even a little bit, probably a lot. But yeah, please do subscribe. I'm almost at 2K, and of course excited to get there. And give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it, share it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye.